Fractions. What are fractions? A fraction is a part of a group, a number, or a whole. For example, in the first photo, the whole is divided into 4 and we take one portion of it. The portion that we have or have taken is represented as 1/4. Another example is the second watermelon, which is divided into 2 halves. One part of the 2 halves is called 1/2. And in the third example, we took 3 parts of the 4 slices, so it is represented as 3/4. If you notice the example of fractions I have given a while back, it has the top part and the bottom part. These are parts of a fraction. The top part is called the numerator, which is the number of parts you have from the whole. And the bottom part is the denominator, which shows the number of parts the whole or group is divided. Now that we know what is a fraction and what are the parts, let's move on to the different types of fraction. There are several types of fraction. First, we have the proper fraction, where the numerator is smaller than the denominator, like in 1/4, 1 being the numerator and is smaller than the denominator 4. Another type is the improper fractions, where the numerator is equal or is greater than the denominator as shown in our example 8/3. We also have the mixed fraction, which is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction, like 2 and 1/3. 2 is the whole number and 1/3 is the proper fraction. Fourth, we got the like fractions, fractions that have the same denominators, like 2/8 and 5/8. 2/8 and 5/8 had the same denominators of 8. Unlike fractions are fractions that have different denominators, like 1/4 and 1/5. 1/4 has 4 as its denominator, and 1/5 has 5 as its denominator. Therefore, it's an unlike fraction. Let us now learn about adding like fractions. In adding like fractions, we add the numerator and then we copy the denominator. Then we simplify the answer if possible. For example, 4/10 plus 3/10. First, we add the numerator 4 and 3, so we got 7. Then we copy the denominator, which is 10. So the answer is 7/10. Another example is the mixed fraction with like denominators. 1 and 8/15 plus 1 and 2/15. We first add the whole numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we add the numerators. 8 and 2 is 10. Then we copy the denominator, so our answer is 2 and 10/15. 10 and 15 are both divisible by 5, so we can still simplify this. 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So our final answer is 2 and 2/3. We now move on to adding unlike fractions. First, we change the unlike fractions into like fractions by finding its LCD. In our example, 1/6 plus 1/2, our denominators are 6 and 2. The LCD for 6 and 2 is 6. We change 1/6 by dividing first the denominator, then multiply it to the numerator. 6 divided by 6 is 1 times 1 is 1. So our fraction is 1/6. We now convert 1/2. 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 1 is 3. So our fraction is 3/6. 1/6 plus 3/6 is 4/6. 4 and 6 are still both divisible by 2. So we can still simplify it. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our final answer is 2/3. Let us now try subtracting like fractions. To subtract like fractions, like an addition, we first subtract the numerator, then we copy the denominator. For example, 8/15 minus 4/15. 8 minus 4 is 4, then we copy the denominator 15. Our answer will be 4/15. 4/15 is already in its simplest form. Let's try another example. 16/24 minus 12/24. 16 minus 12 is 4. Then we copy the denominator 24. The answer is 4/24. Since 4 and 24 are both divisible by 4, we can still simplify our answer. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. Our final answer would be 1/6. Now we go to subtracting unlike fractions. The step in this one is similar to adding unlike fractions. In step 1, we change the unlike fractions to similar or like fractions. For example, 2 thirds minus 1 fourth. Our denominators are 3 and 4, and the LCD for 3 and 4 is 12. Let's change 2 thirds. 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 2 is 8. Our fraction would be 8 twelfths. Then we convert 1 fourth. 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 312. Our equation will be 812 minus 312. 8 minus 3 is 5. Then we copy the common denominator 12. So our answer is 5 twelfths. We have also learned about subtracting fractions with regrouping. In subtracting fractions with regrouping, we first look at our fractions. If they are unlike fractions, we first change them to like fractions by finding its LCD. In our example here, 8 and 2 fourths minus 3 and 4 thirds, the denominators are not the same. So we change it. The LCD for 4 and 3 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then 3 times 2 is 6. Then we copy the whole number. We will have 8 and 6 12. Then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Then times 4 is 16. We again take the whole number, so we will have 3 and 16 12. 6 minus 16 cannot be. So we will do the grouping by borrowing 1 from the whole number. Then add it to your first fraction. 8 will be 7, then we will have 12 12, which we will add to 6 12, giving us 7 and 18 12. Then we copy the subtrahend, so our equation will be 7 and 18 12 minus 3 and 16 12. We do the whole numbers first, then the numerators, then we copied the denominator. 7 minus 3 is 4. 18 minus 16 is 2. So our answer is 4 and 2 12. 2 and 12 are both divisible by 2. So we can still simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. Our final answer is now 4 and 1 6. Let us learn multiplying and dividing fractions. Let's do multiplying fractions by fractions. Multiplying fractions is very simple. You multiply the numerator, which is the top part, and then you multiply the denominators, which is the bottom part. After putting the two results together as a new fraction, you may need to simplify the fraction into its lowest form. But to make your equation simple, you can simplify your fractions first before multiplying. For example, 2 thirds times 1 fourth. 2 and 4 can be divided by 2, so we simplify it. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Our equation will then be 1 third times 1 half. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. Our answer is 1 sixth. If you look at our previous answer, 2 twelfths, it can be simplified to 1 sixth. So our final answer is 1 sixth. Now we move on to multiplying fractions by whole numbers. In here it is simple. We rewrite the whole number into a fraction with 1 as the denominator. So 2 thirds times 4 will be 2 thirds times 4, 1. Then we multiply the numerators, then the denominators. 2 times 4 is 8, then 3 times 1 is 3. Our answer would be 8 thirds. 8 thirds is an improper fraction, so we simplify it and convert it to a mixed fraction. 8 divided by 3 is 2 remainder 2. So our final answer is 2 and 2 thirds. Are you guys enjoying the lessons? Let's also do multiplying fraction by mixed numbers. First, we rewrite our mixed fraction into an improper fraction. In our example, 2 thirds times 3 and 1 fourth. We convert the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. We do this by multiplying the denominator with the whole number plus the numerator. Then copy the same denominator. So in our mixed fraction, 3 and 1 fourth, 4, which is our denominator, times 3, which is the whole number, plus 1, which is the numerator. 4 times 3 plus 1 is 13. Then we copy the denominator, 4. So the improper fraction would be 13/4. We then look into our equation, 2/3 times 13/4, and check if we can simplify it. 2 and 4 can be simplified by dividing them into 2. So our equation will be 1/3 times 13/2. We move on by multiplying the numerator then the denominator. 1 times 13 is 13, and 3 times 2 is 6. Our answer would be 13/6. 13/6 is an improper fraction, so we convert it to a proper fraction or a mixed number. 13 divided by 6 is 2 remainder 1, so our final answer is 2 and 1/6. Now it's time to divide. In division, we have 3 simple steps to follow. Keep, switch, then flip. For example, 1/2 divided by 1/4. We keep the dividend, which in this equation is 1/2. We change the operation to multiplication, then we flip the divisor. In this case, it is 1/4. We put the denominator up and the numerator down. So our equation will be 1/2 times 4, 1. 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. So our answer is 4, 2. Then we simplify our answer. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. The answer is 2, 1, or 2. Now it's your turn. Let's try and apply what you have learned in a real-life scenario. Here's a challenge. Our basketball team is practicing in the school. Our first drill is 3/4 hour long. If we want to increase that time by 1/2, how long will we now practice for? Our second drill is 2/3 hour long. The coach asks us to make our second drill time into 2 sets. How much time will we practice for in each set? Let's answer the problem. If our first drill is 3/4 hour long and we want to increase it by 1/2, we will add 1/2 to 3/4. These two are unlike fractions, so we will make them like fractions by LCD method. The LCD of 4 and 2 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, times 3 is 3, so we will have 3/4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, times 1 is 2. So we will have 2/4. 3 plus 2 is 5. Then we copy the denominator 4. We will get 5/4. This is an improper fraction, so we make it into a proper fraction. 5 divided by 4 is 1, remainder 1. So our answer is 1 and 1/4. To see the exact number of hours, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So we multiply 1 and 1/4 by 60. We will change the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 5. Then we copy the denominator 4. So our improper fraction will be 5/4. Then we change the whole number into a fraction by using 1 as its denominator. Our equation will then be 5/4 times 61. We will simplify our fraction. 60 and 4 can be divisible by 4. So we both divide them by 4. 60 will become 15 and 4 will become 1. We proceed with multiplying our numerators. 5 times 15 is 75, and 1 times 1 is 1. Our answer is 75/1, or 75 minutes. Now let's try the second one. Our second drill is 2/3 hours long, and coach wants to make it into 2 sets. So we divide 2/3 by 2 by making the whole number a fraction using 1 as the denominator. So our equation will be 2/3 divided by 2, 1. Remember, in dividing fraction, we keep, we switch, and we flip. We will now have 2/3 times 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. The answer will be 2/6. We can still simplify this by dividing by 2. So our final answer will be 1/3. To convert it into time, since 1 hour is 60 minutes, We will multiply it by 1/3. We will first make our whole number into a fraction, so our equation will be 1/3 times 61. 60 and 3 are divisible by 3, so we divide it by 3 to simplify. 60 divided by 3 is 20, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now we have 1 times 20 and 1 times 1. The answer will be 21 or 20 minutes. Our second drill will be 20 minutes each set. Learning fractions is very important in our daily real-life situations, especially when we need accurate measurements like in cooking or in building something. I hope you like and understand our lesson about fractions. Thank you so much, classmates and teachers, for listening.